Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you guys already know, my videos are usually about a situation where an immigrant marries a US citizen and then applies for a green card. The topic of this video is going to be a little different. We're talking about special immigrant juvenile status. And this option is available to anyone who's under age 21, and it's an amazing pathway to residency. What is Special Immigrant Juvenile Status, or SIJS for short? SIJS is a program where an immigrant child who's under the age of 21 can basically become a permanent resident. There are a couple requirements. Generally, the child must be under 21, unmarried, must not live with both parents, and reunification with one parent must not be viable, and it should not be in that person's best interest to be returned to their home country. If you can meet these requirements in a juvenile court, which, for example, where my office is in New York State would be the New York State Family Court, you can use these family court orders making these determinations to apply for permanent residency. Now, that's a super oversimplified version of the procedure, but it's also accurate. SIJS is available if you entered the US with a visa or without inspection, if you're in deportation proceedings or have never been to immigration court. Even if you have an old deportation order, it might be a clear pathway where we can reopen the case after we show that you're eligible for this program. So it's something that I really enjoy applying for my clients because it's a great program, and the chances of success here in New York are generally pretty high if you qualify. The New York State family courts here are pretty amenable to this program, but you do need to qualify. Immigration law can be practiced nationwide by an attorney who's licensed in a single state. But with special immigrant juvenile status, we rely heavily on state law and then immigration law, federal law. For the state law portion of it, here in New York State, for example, where I'm licensed, we go to family court. And for that, I need to be licensed in New York State. I can't be an out-of-state attorney making an appearance in New York State family court for the most part. I'm going to give you an example of how a recent case I had played out, because special immigrant juvenile status is somewhat complicated, and the easiest way to explain it is with an example. I have a client, he's 19 years old, from Ecuador. So right off the bat, he's over 18 years old, but under age 21. Anyone under age 21, in New York at least, can qualify for this. And in most states, but it gets complicated and I can't advise on state law in other states. So this person, he lived in Ecuador with his father. Mother was never really in the picture, but father was somewhat abusive. He would drink a lot and he was abusive. So the child came to the United States and he's now in deportation proceedings. Came to live with his brother. And they hired me to do the SIJS case and to defend his deportation. So what we did was we prepared a guardianship petition for the child, and his brother petitioned for guardianship of him in family court. We went to family court and we asked the judge for a guardianship order and a special findings order saying that he meets all of the special immigrant juvenile requirements so that later on we could petition for his green card with US Citizenship and Immigration Services. The family court judge determined that this child was under 21, unmarried, was abused by his father, and therefore reunification with that father is not viable, and that it's not in the child's best interest to be relocated to Ecuador. The judge signed all this on a finding order on a piece of paper with the judge's signature. And we used these pieces of paper to close the deportation proceedings. We terminated the proceedings, and then we applied for his green card with Citizenship and Immigration Services. 1 year later, he received his green card. If you feel like your head is going to explode from complexity, that's because you've been paying attention. This is complicated. I usually need to explain this to people 2 or 3 times during a consultation before they understand all of the layers of the different government agencies and courts that we need to deal with and the timeline. There are 3 main takeaways for you to take from this video. If the child is under age 21, and doesn't have immigration status and doesn't live with both parents, you need to speak with an immigration lawyer. My office in New York handles these all day long, but we do specifically New York State cases because you have to be licensed in the state to do the family court portion of it. If you have any questions and you want to discuss it with me, please feel free to send us an email or schedule a consultation online. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so, and I'll see you guys at the next video.